Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Raider, and today we will be talking about internet safety for children. Now, I'd like to take a moment before we begin to address a couple of things. First, everything we discuss today should be taken as basic guidelines and suggestions that you may then apply to your families and kids in your care as you see fit. It is not legal advice and shouldn't be construed as such. This information has been compiled in order to give some direction to parents and caregivers to hopefully ensure their children's internet exposure is as positive as possible. Second, none of this information is to be used in lieu of proper supervision. No matter how good the software is, how expensive or high tech, unfortunately, someone will always be looking for ways to get through or beat the system. However, using these guidelines will certainly increase the chances that your child will not run into anything inappropriate online. Hopefully today, I will be able to give you a place to start in providing safer internet access for your children. We're going to start with some guidelines that you can share with your kids, ideas, things for them to keep in mind, to be mindful, to help keep themselves safe. Set family rules for internet use. Never share pictures of yourself with anyone. Never tell people where you go to school, where you live, or any other personal information, especially over the internet. Do not meet with anybody that you talk to on the internet. If someone asks to meet with you, tell your adult immediately. Do not download anything on the computer or device without permission with the parent. And I think this one may be harder for kids because the other things, we've preached to them. We've told them over and over, don't tell people about yourself. Don't ever go and meet someone. But when they see that new game that they really want to play, or they think that they need a certain app to be able to play a game, or something along those lines, they may think that it is okay just to download, that small little app, just a little one. They don't realize that it could be corrupted. It could have malware. It could have other dangerous intent involved with it. So I think that may be one that you should specifically remind or impress upon them. Tell an adult if you're being bullied online. Next, we want to talk about some guidelines for adults. Have conversations with your children about internet safety and usage. Have designated screen time hours for your children. Make sure they know if it's an allotted amount of time, or if it's specific time during the day. Make sure they understand when those times are and what the consequences would be, or what the benefits are if they do follow the rules, or when they follow the rules, we'll say that. Have the computer or device with internet in a central location where an adult is present, where they can be supervised. If your child expresses that they are uncomfortable about an interaction, take them seriously and investigate it. Look into it. If your child is either brave enough or scared enough or uncomfortable enough to mention something, then that's worth looking into and determining what it is that has them uncomfortable. Have safeguards set up so that your debit and credit card cannot be used to purchase items. Many apps offer a password to be set up to approve all charges. Do not share this password with your child, even if it's well, I can't think of the word. come up with it. If it kind of puts you out to be able to, or to have to go inconvenient, that's the word I was looking for. Even if it's inconvenient, don't share that password with the kids. There's a reason to have the password so that you know what apps and what purchases are being made, and that's just another way that you can help to keep them safe. Warning signs parents should look for. If your child is getting phone calls from people that you do not know, if your child is spending long hours online or increased online usage, especially at nighttime, or your child is turning the computer off or clicking off a screen when you walk into a room. Any of these things, if you see, are signs that you need to investigate further. You need to look into what all's going on. What are you missing? Why is your child trying to shield the screen from you? Don't be afraid to look into it. Don't be afraid to call your child out and ask. It's worth a few minutes of being uncomfortable to keep them safe. There are a few different websites and resources online and at the library that you can look into different software, different platforms to know what's going on. And we'll talk about some of those in a little bit, or look into them further. One is pluggedin.com. This offers reviews on movies, books, video games, even some YouTube videos, and more. commonsensemedia.org. Parents can view ratings for books, DVDs, video games, phone apps. Also, for kid-friendly research where they can go and work on their homework or look up information, tintel.info/students is the Tennessee Electronic Library. Want your children to be able to safely research homework topics and receive homework help. Want games that your child, sorry about that typo, can play and have fun. Check out the Tennessee Electronic Library. It's a free source. So this is a great place for kids to be able to go research. There are games to play. There are lots of different sites that they can look into, audiobooks, just lots of different material for them to either just for research or, for their interest or for homework help. And we'll go and look at that in a little bit. Another resource, kidshealth.org and safekids.com. Those each have a few more ideas. If you want to take a moment and jot those down, they'd be good to go back to later on your own and go through and look and see what some of the other ideas are. And at this point, we are going to go back. We're going to start at plugged in. My internet is a little bit slow. Just got it on the site was by Dr. James Dobson. It has a lot of friendly information. I don't know. See TV, music, games, books, YouTube. So, streaming. Let's say you wanted to look at a find something. Choose one, or if you're searching for something specific, and type it in the search bar up there. Let's just go to this first one. It's like to come out for stop. In my view for each movie, content, uh, and it'll be different for each teens and adults. Like content, information about it, a basic review, but then every review they offer positive elements, spiritual elements, sexual content, violent content, profane language. They go into every single word and how many times they're in there. Drug and alcohol content, other negative elements, and the conclusion. If in the end it seems like it was worth watching, you can see who was the reviewer. Let's choose something else. We'll go to a game. Yes. Search, or you can scan through. Look for ones a little bit more. I don't know. We'll just choose that first one. So the name is called Watch Dogs Legion. And review. That's about it from my gives you things and some other reviews on YouTube channels. This is a new option that they have. So my just one talking about it as an viewer, or you know there's one that they like watching, you want to check out and just make sure that it's something that's a bit more something that they're not learning anything they shouldn't just get. So this one is about Dude Perfect. And gives you an idea of what the channel review, content concerns, channel summary. The thing I like about Plugged In is that they are very specific about the pros, cons, everything in between, anything you might come in contact with that. So you know exactly what you're getting into when you choose a movie, music, a book, whatever. Next one we're going to look at the next site is Common Sense. And this is a reviews and ratings across platforms. Movies and books, apps and games. I think parents need to know. You can look by cell phones, um, social media, violence media, Parents Guide to Fortnite. A lot of interesting Roblox. We've seen that in the news. Some Latino research, distance learn. So let's go into an app. and reviews. See, they have a star listing. They provide an age. I'm going to give it an age, but I would encourage you to read the entire review on any of it before blindly just taking what age they list. May not completely fall in line with what you want your children to be viewing. But overall, you can look through and see the basics for your apps. Let's see. Movie, go to and choose the first 15 up. I'll say again, I said before, I would encourage you strongly to read the full review before just saying, oh, this one is 4 stars, it must be good, and it must be something. As it's a genre bending, coming of age story, strong language, and sex. So if you read it through, first they give you a rating of how much. So it's a somewhat positive message, somewhat positive role model, somewhat violent. All these they would have said was a little bit above average, heavier language, heavier on the sex, drinking, drugs, and smoking. Basic story. The reviewer enjoy it. Things you can talk to your kid about. Each movie or TV show. Let's see the books. They're going to give you a detailed review of what that movie or whatever what it contains, and then you can make the choice after you read that. So it gives you an informed decision instead of just blindly picking something that your child might think sounds fun. So we're going to move on to the electronic library. There are lots of things to do to select. But resources for all ages. We're going to be talking about kids. And so under the students, you have elementary, middle, high school, and college options. For elementary school children, you can do a specific search or search a certain topic or a certain format. For instance, if you're looking for ebooks or multimedia, you can scroll over here and see some different options. Also over here. This is what a lot of the kids like. For the younger kids are coloring pages, homework help, state history, look it up, ebooks, games and activities. So we'll click on the games and activities. You can see here they can look at some different options from World Book Early Learning, PBS Kids, National Geographic Kids, 4kids.org, Cartoon Express, PBS Kids, and okay. So here they can watch videos or they can play games. Games. They will have fun and realize that they are learning. So they can use watch, let's say, Science Kid. I'm not sure how popular he is now. I know that we enjoyed watching him when my son was little.
Video games video.
You've got different options here. And again, these are great for safe sites for them to learn and play at the same time. Again, National Geographic. All of these have puzzles, quizzes, games, stories. They may be for information. Here you can scroll through help with elementary level work. You can look in World Book Kids, World Book Student, Ben's Guide to the U.S. Government, an introduction to how the U.S. government works, NASA, and there's a little bit more homework help, Khan Academy, and Transparent Language Online. We're going to go back to the main page and move on up to middle school. Again, it's the same look for each one, just different kinds of sources, resources. They can research or search through the Tennessean, Gale eBooks. There's high school and middle school. Tennessee Blue Book for history. And again, over here, some multimedia resources. High school again is going to look very similar. So let's say that your high schooler needs some help in a class. You choose your get there. As it's part of the electronic library, it's going to ask you for sitting and sit. Because the database for Tennessee residents, and so they just want to verify that you're a Tennessee resident using it. Play a little day for my computer, apparently. All right. So we can search the broad searches, or you can go to a title list. Which just you can scroll down and see the different subjects. Maybe you're looking for in history. And I'm going to put you on pause for a little bit so I can download some of this, and then we'll come back to you. Blah. Okay. Due to my computer being slow, I paused it for a few minutes and downloaded a few things so that we would be able to, so that you would be able to see some of the resources available on the Tennessee Electronic Library. So we were looking up under high school at Gale eBooks. And so lots of options here. I chose one for us to see, Environmental Encyclopedia. You can see, you can look through a table of contents, the book index, a list of illustrations, and you go in and look at those. Another option would be the high school Gale in context. Click on use this resource. You do a basic search or scroll down. You also have options to browse topics, look through a title list, search history, get link. There's some current events, browse topics. I chose one, and this is what it looks like. Start with just a little bit, and if it looks like what they're going to want or what they're looking for, and that went ahead. You've got a date for how current it is. And they can scroll down through and look through the information, read it. And at the bottom of the page is a source citation. So if they're using this information for a report of some kind for a paper, they'll have the information. I know sometimes that is a bit of a struggle maybe to find sources or to figure out how to cite their sources when it's an online source. So this helps. You also have quick links up here to cite, send it, download, print. So take some time with your kids and go through all of the options the Tennessee Library for you. There's, again, lots of safe, free resources for you and your kids. So thanks for logging on today and joining me in this little journey on creating a safer internet experience for your children. I hope that you have learned something and that you're able to take some of this information and create a safer place for your kids. Again, I'm Holly Rader, and I hope you have a great day.